Sticking on the defensive side of the ball, we have Jose come in and he says, is Arik Armstead's return the principal ingredient to win the NFC and get one more shot at the Super Bowl this season? That's a really good question, because when I first saw this come through, my initial response was no. I don't think it's a principal ingredient at all for the 49ers to be able to get a shot at the Super Bowl this year. The more I thought about it, the more that I think that having Arik Armstead on the field, this 49ers defense is going to be good without him. We've seen it be good without him, but they need Arik Armstead on the field, and they need Arik Armstead to be able to play at the level that we've seen him play the last couple of years, because Arik Armstead is a very good defensive tackle in the NFL. He is one of the better defensive tackles. I'd say he's easily in the top 10 when it comes to defensive tackles. He really helps their run defense. So this week, playing against the Chargers, you have they have a decent running game, and having Arik Armstead in there to secure that inside, that's one of the reasons why having him and Javon Kinlaw out at the same time has been a little bit of a bummer, because they're very good inside against the run, and the 49ers have a good rotation of talent inside and all along that defensive line, but they don't necessarily have guys that are down and down out players like an Arik Armstead to do that. And so for the 49ers to win the NFC when they get to the playoffs, yes, I think the 49ers need Arik Armstead to get to the NFC Championship game. They need Arik Armstead to get to the Super Bowl. Do they need Arik Armstead to win necessarily week in and week out right now? Not necessarily, but I think that Arik Armstead is a very vital piece to this defense, and something that the 49ers need to someone that the 49ers need to get back healthy. So, going back to, the three keys for the 49ers and what for the second half, the three things they need to do, getting healthy. That's a big one. Arik Armstead getting healthy. That's a big thing for the 49ers in the second half. They really need him healthy. Just helps out that pass rush, helps out that run defense, helps out guys like Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is going to get his anyways, but it's going to help everybody else out. He's a guy you don't have to take off the field when he's in a defensive tackle, because he can pass rush really well from inside. He's a really good run defender, so that helps out as well. So getting Arik Armstead back, yes, Jose, that would be a principal ingredient to win the NFC this year. Now, one other thing that's been asked a lot about Arik Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, both these guys have been out. People want to know what's going on. Arik Armstead was not at practice today, or he was not participating in practice, I should say. So his status is up in the air. We'll see if he is back at practice on Wednesday. We'll get a little bit better idea of where he is. He's got that dealing with foot and ankle injuries, so tough deal for Armstead. We'll find out more on him on Wednesday. But Javon Kinlaw will not be playing this week. Javon Kinlaw has one more week on IR before the 49ers can activate him. So Javon Kinlaw is definitely out against the Chargers. The earliest he could come back is when the 49ers take on the Cardinals in Mexico City. I wouldn't expect to see that, in part because that is a game that's going to be played at a high altitude. Remember, Mexico City that stadium, I believe, is higher than Mile High. I think it might even be twice as high as Mile High. It has a very high elevation. You start dealing with elevation changes and those kind of things, and your body just reacts differently. So I would not expect to see Javon Kinlaw until after the 49ers play the Monday night game against the Arizona Cardinals. So we're looking at right around the Thanksgiving game. That weekend of Thanksgiving, I think, will be when we see Javon Kinlaw, if we do, at the earliest.